So you're telling me this movie's about a little fat kid with glasses who wears his heart on his sleeve and has a difficult time spelling? Grace, get my lawyer on the line. Dear Santa is a new Christmas movie from Bobby Farrelly of the Farrelly Brothers fame. It's about an 11-year-old boy whose parents are going through a bit of a rough patch this Christmas, and even though they all agree that he's a bit too old for Santa, Liam, played by Robert Timothy Smith, he writes a letter to Santa and places it in a mailbox headed for the North Pole. Only problem is, Liam didn't address that letter to Santa. Much like a young and old Adam, let's be honest, Liam can't spell for shit. So instead, he addresses his letter to Satan, and wouldn't you know it, Satan shows up to spread a little Christmas cheer. Well, that's not 100% true. He kind of gives him a little Billy Goat's gruff sort of thing, a genie devil, if you will. So he comes in and says, hey kid, you know, you're 11 years old, the world's kind of crapping on you right now. What 3 wishes do you want from me? And I'll take your soul when you're not looking. One of the interesting things about this movie for me was Jack Black. Jack Black's been kind of playing Jack Black for quite a few years here. There are a couple roles here and there that he'll kind of stretch and do some other stuff. Jumanji of all of them being one where he kind of stretches the most, playing a little girl. And I thought he's pretty good at all of that stuff. But honestly, we see Jack Black just playing Jack Black a whole bunch, and he rarely gets out and does any kind of character work. And he almost starts something with this.
Who are you? What do you want?
What do you mean, what do I want? It's me.
Who?
Me, I got your letter.
What letter?
The letter you sent me?
I never sent you a letter.
What do you call this, fudge nuts?
I gotta be honest with you, I look at the people who play Liam's parents, and I cannot see this child's parents. I can't even see 2 people who would actually be compatible with each other. It's really, really strange. And why does Dad look like Steven Weber and Wings Hauser got locked together in the chamber from The Fly? PJ Byrne plays the English teacher who reminds me a bit of my high school English teacher in a lot of weird ways. He would actually read us poetry and stuff, and by the end of it, you'd think he was spent, you know what I'm saying? He would just be like, and then... This guy's a lot like that guy. This Liam kid is absolutely terrible at wishes. He looks right at the devil and just goes, my first wish is going to be, what if that girl at school that I like gives me a chance, not falls in love with me, not can't get me out of her head, not becomes obsessed with me, just gives me a chance. And I'll say, for the devil, he's very accommodating with a lot of these wishes and stuff, going far and beyond what this kid is actually asking for. So the little girl Emma at school finally gives him a little bit of attention, and, honestly, he's pretty happy with all of this stuff. He invites her to a Malone concert, which then the devil actually produces tickets for. Great Ticketmaster jab in there as well, well warranted. Eventually, Liam figures out that if he drops all 3 of these wishes, his soul belongs to Satan, and I don't care if you're an 11-year-old, that still doesn't sound like a great plan. So he tries to put off all these wishes and everything, and his second wish will really surprise you, and his third wish will really surprise you, because that's one of the crazy things about this movie. It's okay, it's not amazing, it's just a fun enough time for what it is. But where they leave you with the ending, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but it has you scratching your head going, I'm sorry, what happens 20 minutes after this movie is over? You've got a lot of explaining to do, and this kid's going to have a lot of therapy, bills in the future, I'm sure. This movie's fine for what it is. It's PG-13, and for a Farrelly Brothers movie, that's about par these days. I wish they'd go back to the R-rated days, and frankly, it's just odd that this thing is rated PG-13. There are kids in it of a particular age. 11-year-old kids would be cursing a little bit more. Even if they're good kids like the kids that are in this movie, they'd still have a couple more, and honestly, you could probably hammer those curse words home and make them matter a little bit more if these kids say them. You can still do that in this PG-13 movie. This feels like it's PG-13, but only just.
What'd you expect?
Well, for one thing, I thought he'd be a little jollier.
Jollier? Who the hell's jolly these days?
Fair point. But your suit is different, and your beard doesn't look the same. But I guess you are, chunky enough.
Oh, wow, you went there. What, you don't put on a few extra pounds over the holidays?
I'm not really sure what Jack Black is doing in this movie. The whole thing is bookended by two scenes that are in this boy's bedroom where Jack Black is actually acting. Like, he's putting on a voice, he's kind of grumbling, like doing one of these things. He's putting on what I would think would be an actual devil character and not just Jack Black playing the devil. And then after that scene, it kind of slowly fades away. It's not always super heavy present. It doesn't completely go away, but it's never as strong as it is in the beginning scene. And then come the end, when we end up back in his bedroom again, the voice is back. Obviously, they shot both of these things at the exact same time. Movies aren't shot in order and everything. But what happened to that great acting that Jack Black is doing on the front and back end of this movie? In the middle, it all becomes Jack Black again, and you kind of forget what he's playing. Well, Jack Black, we know you're capable of it, my man. Why aren't you doing better than this? So the devil here says, all right, you're going to take this girl to a Post Malone concert. By the way, Post, if these are what your shows look like, I ain't never going. It's just him on a stage that looks like an auditorium in like a large high school or something like that. And it's just him kind of dancing with a big jumbotron in the background. I'm just going, is this what people pay for at a Post Malone show? I certainly hope not. But I can't believe I'm saying this out loud here, but Post Malone can actually act. I was shocked at this, man. Now, he is playing himself, so much like Eminem in 8 Mile, he's not going a long distance. There are plenty of other musicians and stuff out there who, you know, go on to movies and just go do the most robotic performances ever. It's awful. He's not doing that. He feels very genuine. So, curious because he comes out and goes, this 11-year-old kid is the reason that I do music, man. I love you, bro. You the best. And like, honestly, you believe it. Post Malone is giving 1,000% performance in this. And honestly, he's doing a better job than Jack Black is, because Jack Black starts and ends, you know, pretty strong, but in the middle, not so much. I don't want to say I want to see Post Malone, you know, in the next Martin Scorsese movie or anything, but for playing Post Malone, he could have been a lot worse. So ultimately, do I recommend Dear Santa? Well, if you've got Paramount Plus right now, go ahead and check that out. If you're like me and accidentally let it lapse and have the free trial go away and you've paid for it, you definitely need to watch it. And then, you know, if you're like me, make a YouTube video of it trying to justify that exorbitant amount of price that Paramount Plus thinks that they're entitled to. Paramount Plus, I'm sorry, but where do you get off charging that much a month for this service? For this service? Nah. Keep making those Blu-rays though, that's important. That's it, everybody. Have you seen Dear Santa? Were you pleased with it? Did you think it sucked? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.